Hey, Chad Hymas here. Welcome to this week's Roll Safety Tip. Welcome back. Thank you all for joining us this week. Hope that you're all safe and sound. To our folks listening in Florida and Texas and where the devastations have taken place in our country, hope that you're safe and sound and that your families are safe as well. This week's title is called Gaining Culture's Edge. Gaining Culture's Edge. How do you get buy-in from your employees? What can we do to get those that are on the fence to buy into those tactics, policies, procedures that will help them be more safe? And this past week we had four of our cooperatives, four of our captive companies. They chimed in and gave a presentation on how you gain employees' confidence, how you gain their engagement. I'd like to recognize those companies. I have them listed here and share them here on the screen. We'll show their logos. Skyline Steel was kind enough to contribute to this week's Roll Safety Tip, as well as Richards Building Supply, Fiora & Sons, and Neely Construction. I want to thank you for your input. Here is what we got, and this is what I want to share with you. In order for you to get buy-in from your employee, you first have to, number one, recognize that there is a value in finding out what your employees' needs are, what their fears are, and what their victories are. NFV, needs, fears, and victories. Once you find out what those three things are from your employees, then as owners and as supervisors and as leaders of our organizations, we need to embrace our employees' ideas, whether they are constructive or whether they are positive. Embrace their ideas as equal ideas. So we don't diminish them, we don't demise them, we don't slam them or throw them under the bus, but we embrace their ideas as equals. That doesn't mean that we put all of their ideas into effect. That simply means that we recognize them for their ideas and that we take what's good from their ideas and try and utilize them as best we can, and whatever is not going to work for our companies, then we don't use that for our companies. Another thing that we need to recognize when trying to get buy-in and getting this edge gain from our employees is that we need to realize that leadership is over-glorified. Now, that's a strong phrase for me to say, especially in this video. When I say leadership is over-glorified, all that means is that leadership is demonstrated by our behavior towards our employees and engaging them in one-on-one conversations. Visible felt leadership is what I like to call it, rather than being identified by a title like supervisor or CEO or the director of operations. So remember that leadership is announced more so by your demonstrating of your love or your care or of your selflessness towards people that you work with, people that you associate with in your families, those that you care about, those that you associate with in your sphere, more than it is by a title such as superintendent, the president of a bank, whatever your title might be. This is Chad Hymas asking you to gain the edge of your employees. Until next week, roll with safety.